Fortier.
And I'm Andrew Hill. And we're now talking about episode 4 of Survivor 50. Probably the worst episode so far. No, the worst episode so far.
Definitively,
but,
yeah.
It's still decent. It was fun at parts.
Survivor is always going to be entertaining to an extent.
Exactly.
So, yeah, can't be too mad. Well, we'll see. First of all, I'd like to start off, like always, with two reminders. First of all, the opinions expressed in Reality Rangers are solely our own and are not reflective of SpiritLive or Toronto Metropolitan University. And second of all, humongous spoiler warning for episode 4 of Survivor 50, and just all reality TV. Maybe a little bit of Love Island's most recent season. We might spoil that.
And apparently Zac Brown's newest album.
Right.
Spoilers for that, I guess.
Spoilers for all things Zac Brown. If you're new to the Zac Brown fandom and don't want to get spoiled, then, click off right now. But
all
don't click
all
off.
the 40-year-old millennial dads watching this right now, click off right now.
Exactly. If you want to, enjoy your chicken fried in peace, don't stay on here because we might get a little slanderous. So we start the episode off with, is Vatu?
Probably.
Pink Tribe
yeah.
coming back from Tribal, and, it's hectic.
Yeah. They were all united except for Stephanie, one of the only people to ever vote in the minority as the only person and still not get voted out. Weird scenario. But it doesn't seem like that's the biggest issue per se. It seems like the whole tribe is just kind of a mess right now. Like, even though they voted together, no one's really on the same page.
Yeah, Stephanie is grateful to be alive, but she is, on edge. She's like, okay, I might be next out. But Ozzy tells her that this was the best opportunity to take out a big threat. Q? A big threat? I don't know about all that. I beg to differ.
It was like the reward was not equal to the amount that you just ended up risking. I think it worked out in the end for the most part because Stephanie wasn't that spiteful, but it was still unfortunate to see because now we're canceling Christmas, guys.
Yeah,
it's really. And I didn't want Q to go at all. He was on my draft. He was really fun and entertaining, great confessionalist, and I think. It's more entertaining, but to say that he goes early, but then we don't get that later on.
Yeah, I think Ozzy, like you said, it was not worth it. I don't think for once, Angelina's not the worst negotiator on her tribe. That's Ozzy, because I don't see why this benefits him. Now he's got the 3 David versus Goliaths making half the tribe, and him and Emily and Stephanie are kind of fractured. I just didn't think it was the right move, but Ozzy is weary now of the David versus Goliath trio and pitches that they go for Angelina next. And Emily is receptive to this idea.
Yeah, they talked about this last episode where Ozzy agreed with Emily to vote out Q as long as they can get out Angelina next episode. And I think that's probably the best reason why he voted out Q is because that kind of secures an allyship with Emily, who has a lot more ins with Christian, with Mike, and, he seems to want to work with both of them. Other than that, though, I don't know if Ozzy had, any great outcomes. I mean, Angelina was probably the best to go, but it's still, it's just okay.
I mean, if we take a look further in this episode, if we're talking about tribe strength for these immunity challenges, maybe, it would have been better to keep Q knowing what we know now. But we'll get into that. Let's just hop over quickly to Sela Beach, where they need to pass the time. They're not a disaster tribe, so they've got to do some stuff instead of tribal. They decide to do a little bit of a talent show. So what are the acts, Andrew?
The acts are bad. That's what they are. So we have Rick, who does poorly juggles. Then Rizzo does some really bad impressions.
Of who?
Was it Mickey Mouse?
Mickey Mouse.
Oh, and yeah, the most default. Anyone can do that. And he still doesn't do it great. But then I think the fun part about this segment was Jonathan and Charlie practicing and committing to a full-on reenactment of a fight.
Yeah.
Charlie uppercuts Jonathan. Jonathan like picks him up and throws him to the ground. They're like pretending to beat each other
They're
up.
roughhousing.
Right.
It's kind of sad though, because they're teasing us with like good conflict and fighting. You know, we never see that kind of stuff on Survivor anymore. Well, I don't think they were.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Survivor.
if we ever saw people like full on fist fighting, it would be in the contact challenge from season 5. But
Right.
you know,
Or,
that's
like,
that's neither here nor there.
Take me back to Nicaragua when Nyanka and Kelly B were fighting over that little fruit basket for the immunity clue, like or Heroes versus Villains with Danielle and Amanda. Like, I want a little bit of, you know,
Or Abby Maria and everyone.
and everyone, literally everyone. But yeah, the panel of judges, I'm pretty sure is D, Camilla, and Suri.
Yeah. It's the men doing their talents and the women judging.
As it should be.
Yeah,
As
amen.
it should be. And the grand prize goes to Rizzo. And once again, Charlie does not take this. Charlie is not happy about this. Actually, we have a clip here of his reaction. And it's just this whole Charlie v. Rizzo thing reigniting, and I love it.
Yeah, I love Charlie this season, and I'm so excited to see like this feud come to a head. But let's watch the clip.
I hate losing, especially to Rizzo. Ever since Rizzo said that he didn't vote for his #1 ally to win the game, that has been ringing in my head over and over and over again. And that just makes me so pissed off. I feel like Liz Wilcox. I'm pissed. I'm pissed! Rizzo is my mortal enemy, and he's got no clue that I'm out for blood.
Our queen, Liz Wilcox. I'm pissed.
I'm pissed. We don't even need to edit it into the episode this time because they gave it to us.
Right. It was beautiful. It was glorious. I love Charlie so much more this season just because he's so like fueled by anger, and it's so funny to watch. Like, he has no real reason to actually be angry at Rizzo, but he is dead set on this. I love the little act that he put on after Rizzo won, where he was like, you're making us fight. Are you not entertained? Like, it's so stupid, but then he like goes into a confessional and he's like actually showing real anger, and it's so funny.
Yeah, Rizzo is like a tier 1 rage baiter, so I understand it. I understand this Charlie rage that's coming through.
We'll see a lot more rage baiting in the future, as we'll get to soon.
Exactly. And then we see a little more kumbaya. Like, we see Genevieve braiding somebody's hair, but Aubrey's not having this. Aubrey's like, no, I'm on the out, so I'm just gonna take that and run with it, and I'm gonna go look for another idol. And she's looking really for a boomerang idol, but she doesn't know this, I guess. And she just wants to not be it in the hands. She doesn't want it to be in the hands of other people. So yeah, she looks for it, and she gets caught by Genevieve. Of course, this is literally like I always say, it's like Rachel v. Genevieve all over again. I'm getting deja vu. And Genevieve calls her out. She's like, oh, Aubrey, where are you? And Aubrey is just really like upset that she couldn't find that idol.
It's really a cat and mouse game that we keep playing every episode, and like they keep bringing this up. Aubrey keeps getting caught. Aubrey doesn't like Genevieve. Genevieve doesn't like Aubrey, and I think this whole scene comes to a head when afterwards we see Genevieve complaining about Aubrey, and then she mid-complaining finds another boomerang idol, another Bebby.
It's very comical. Like, at this point, had there not been like crazy twists, Genevieve would have had 2 idols by now. Genevieve Clement Kim would have had 2 idols by now, but she doesn't get to keep them. This is unfair. Like,
It's more like Genevieve Genevieve Shallow.
exactly.
This one's for you, Amanda. This
Very
one's for you,
charitable.
Sandra.
Very charitable. And so I'm just kind of pissed as like a Genevieve fan. I'm like, okay, what if she goes home? She could have had 2 idols to protect herself, and she might get idoled out by one of said idols.
Yeah, but I mean, if it works out in her favor, I think that puts her in an incredible position. It's just Survivor is screwing her over by not giving her the default position, which is automatically good.
Yeah, that's true. So who does she give her second Bebby to?
Yes. So we see like last time she found it, it was she wanted to give it to Ozzy because she thought Ozzy would get voted out soon. He would overplay and not use his idol. then we saw Christian give it to Aubrey so that they could be allies in the future. Now we're seeing it back to trying to get them voted out with her former ally, Rizzo.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about that?
I am kind of like, ugh, because like we just saw 49. Basically, the whole season, Rizzo was sitting on an idol. Literally, I was on Twitter timeline last night and I saw Christina from season 49 complaining they don't give this man another idol. Like, it's like, oh my gosh. I wonder if he's gonna change the way he plays with it. I wonder if he's gonna be cocky and sit on it, or if he's gonna try to actually use it strategically. I don't know. It's just like, does this guarantee us another like month of Rizzo? I don't necessarily need another month of Rizzo.
Yeah, well, I think the upside with this whole thing is you can see Rizzo's change in demeanor, because like we might see him actually play an idol, because last season he was saying he's going to be the greatest player of all time, and now he's saying he's going to be one of the goodest players ever.
One of the goodest ever,
so
yeah.
I think there's a real tonal shift. He's really growing as a person.
He's getting more humility, more modest.
He's going from greatest to goodest.
Right, like, so that's the thing. I don't know where this, like, self-aggrandizing is coming from, because
he's RIZGOD.
Right, but he didn't make Final 3 last time. He kind of was in the minority on this starting tribe, and now he's swapped into an okay position. Little does he know, he's got a huge target on his back. I don't see greatness. I don't see a goat. I see a sheep.
I will say, I don't know if it's the biggest target, because we haven't seen a single other person mention it other than Charlie, and we've also seen Dee and Jonathan want to target Suri. There's a lot of different dynamics, so this could really go either way. It could also blow up in Charlie's face. Like, there's a lot of different scenarios that could play out because we're not seeing enough of this tribe.
Yeah, just because they're not losing, and also they don't have the most conflict. Like, at least Kahlo has that Aubrey, Tiffany, Genevieve contingent. Like, Vatu or Sila's just kind of left by the wayside, and we don't see much of their dynamics. But hopefully, maybe they go to tribal. I'd love to see that tribal.
Yeah. And afterwards, we must talk about the Zac Brown of it all.
Who?
I don't know.
Who's Zac Brown? Can we actually pull up his Wikipedia page? Because I don't know who Zac Brown is.
That might be a good idea.
Let's analyze this, honey, because
they were the entire time talking about how, like, none of us knew who he was, so, like, we might as well get the wiki up. But, like, they were all acting like they all knew who he was.
Like, Dee was a super fan.
Crying. Like, apparently Christian knows, and I wouldn't have expected Christian to know, but, like, he was, I guess, quoting a song. And, like, I have a feeling like most of them are probably just making it up, because, like, it's a cool reward to have a, like, famous person there, but also, like, who is Zac Brown?
Like, I know Dee knew who it was even before he came out. Like, she figured it out. But I really do wonder how many of these people actually know who Zac Brown is. Like, I feel like maybe the coaches and the Colbys would, but, like...
Right. Like, it's a country thing,
I've heard of Chicken Fried. I can't lie. I have heard of Chicken Fried.
I don't even know if I've heard of Chicken Fried.
Did I know that was Zac Brown? No. And did I know that Zac Brown was a Survivor fan? No. Same thing with Billie Eilish. Like, at least where's Sia? I don't necessarily love Sia, but it would have made sense for Sia to be here. I'm trying to see Sia.
Or, like, we might as well make the Billie Eilish Boomerang Idol an actual Billie Eilish Boomerang Idol, but instead she just doesn't mention it at all online ever.
Right.
So let's get that wiki up now.
Zac Brown, like...
Yeah, so...
Where is he from? Where did he come from? Where did he go?
Okay, there's a few things here. His name is not Zachary, it's Zachary, which is, like...
I didn't even notice that.
Kind of weird. I also he grew up in Cumming, Georgia.
Okay.
Interesting.
And well, at least his age is like one of the best Survivor seasons.
That's true.
Right?
That's true.
Maybe
Shout
this
out
is
Rachel Lamont.
this is a good omen for Genevieve.
He also apparently previously went by the stage name Sir Roosevelt.
Oh.
There's a lot here going on that, like, is really throwing me off.
We're gonna have to talk about this reward and immunity challenge. I was like really hopeful because it came really early in the episode, so I was like, okay, double boot episode maybe, or maybe another medevac. I don't know.
I was thinking it was just gonna be a regular reward challenge, and then we have an immunity challenge, because it was like 10 minutes in.
Right.
And then it's a immunity challenge, and one person going, and I'm thinking, oh no, what's gonna be, unless this tribal is going to take up half of the episode because something insane happens.
Like a Survivor 48 like tie thing where
Right.
you know, with the Cedric and the Say and the Justin, like, okay, I get that. No, honey. No. Okay, Zac Brown waltzes in, moseys on in, and says,
Dawdles
okay,
all in.
2 people winning immunity like normal, but one tribe, or 2 tribes winning immunity, but one tribe gets to see me at the sanctuary where great things happen. Yay! This is not great things.
Yeah, it's like the reward I think is good. I mean, it was kind of cool to watch him like spearfish, especially if it was like those huge tunas. But,
Yeah.
maybe okay, we did not need to see 4 confessionals from Zac Brown, more than what Tiffany has had all season, more than Sari got this episode. Like, Sari got no confessionals, and Zac Brown got 4 and 15 minutes of like spearfishing and singing songs.
Just unfiltered like country bumpkin propaganda. I'm like, I don't mind the country people. I
He's
like
probably
chicken.
a great guy.
I like chicken fried.
Yeah.
But what the hell does he know about Survivor? No, I mean,
I think he just needs to take a piece of the rule book from Sabrina Carpenter. You know, she can do a lot with 15 minutes, but he cannot. And I think he needs to use his time effectively.
yeah. So like, he may be a super fan. He may love Survivor. Give him 5 minutes. Give him a little moment at the sanctuary, but don't make the whole show about him. Like, I know maybe they're trying to draw in different viewer bases with that they might not be like hitting as much, and I understand that. But just like, for me as a viewer, it wasn't satisfying.
It didn't seem like the Facebook fan base was like that happy either.
Really?
Like, I was seeing a few other things of people like, I'm bored, I don't want to watch this, and that's like, I don't think it was really effectively for anyone. But also this just makes me worried for when Mr. Beast shows up. That's my concern.
I'm just like, I tuned in for Survivor, the social strategy game, not Turning Point halftime show. Like, I'm not watching this.
Yeah.
But yeah, the actual reward challenge and immunity challenge itself was kind of sad. Like, you know, Sela and Kahlo are way ahead. Vatu is flopping. They got rid of one of their only muscle people in Q, and they just cannot. Like, it's like they have to push a boat on one of those tracks. We
Right.
see it often. They just couldn't do it.
A lot of the time, these challenges are not specifically like strength based. They're more like cooperation and endurance and that kind of thing. And then obviously the puzzle.
Yeah.
But in this case, it was almost entirely strength based, which is like the one thing Q is like really excels at.
Yeah, and the one thing that like tribes with Joe and Colby and Coach and Chrissy and then also with D and John, like they're obviously gonna smoke them.
So this challenge ends in a blowout. The puzzle, I think I was surprised to see that they were so good at it, because when we saw it last on 46, everyone was awful at this puzzle.
Ooh, like we saw versions, like mini versions of it on like 48 and stuff, but the
Big ones are scary.
The big ones, like, you can get a concussion, you can get like a toe smushed, like, and Tiffany and Charlie, like, as featured in the episode, they have experience with this one. Tiffany probably has PTSD with this one.
I would like imagine Q having to see. It makes me even more sad that he's gone. But
Who was gonna yell at Jess? Or who
Right.
was gonna yell at Banu? Like, it's just not.
yeah,
It's not the same.
but it was a blowout. Once again, Vatu loses,
And they have to do like a crawl of
right.
shame
They didn't
from under
even
the
get
net.
to the puzzle because they had their boat stuck. They didn't have enough strength to push it under the net, so they had to like crawl through this net. Really sad.
You've got Mike White, all sandy, all like out of breath. I'm gonna have to write a scene in the White Lotus like this. And then you've got Emily flipping, should I crawl or should I go around it? Or she was really indecisive of how she should exit. And then you've got Ozzy, who's obviously disappointed. He was this big challenge guy back in the day, but now he couldn't carry his team to success. And yeah, it was just really disappointing. But who was it that won the was it? It wasn't Sela. I think it was.
It was
Kahlo.
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 It's a tribe.
It's a tribe of honesty and integrity,
right,
and
I think
Aubrey.
they were probably the best people to get that reward, aside from probably D, just because they are a tribe of Zac Brown like
Fans.
maybe not well, probably
Some of
fans,
them
but
are
they just
aficionados.
they have the same like maybe Republican atmosphere.
Yeah, they definitely were giving Zac Brown groupies, and I just wonder, like, I know it's a tribe reward win, so you couldn't really switch out, but like, it looked like Tiffany was not enjoying herself. She could have swapped that with D, maybe. I feel like that would have made D's day, but that doesn't really happen at the tribal stage.
The Christina season 49, like, I want to give up my reward to Jawan. I want to give up my reward to D because I don't want to listen to him.
Literally, I was like, if I was there, I would have actually thrown the challenge. Like, I know the food's important, but I'm not sitting there. I'm not listening to that.
You're throwing the challenge. Are you saying you'd try and get second? Or
Second,
okay,
yeah.
okay.
I want immunity. I'm not trying to go to tribal, but I'm also not trying to have a fate even equivalent to that by listening to Zac Brown.
And those people on the second place tribe, obviously D was very upset, but I don't think any of them were particularly like they didn't seem like they needed the food. I mean, on previous Call-O, where most of them were from, they won like every reward challenge. They were doing perfectly fine. I think they can all last a while.
Yeah, and like they've got Flint, they're good, they're set up. They've got another talent show scheduled in the next hour, so I think they're good.
Yeah. So
Let's move to Sela, Vatu, the losing tribe. Vatu. What are we going to do about you, Vatu? We've got 6 people left, a starting tribe in New Era standards. And it's who's left on this tribe? We've got Mike White, Angelina, Stephanie, Emily, Ozzy, and Christian, who is like the star of the season at this point.
It's this whole like... I think even though this episode was the worst, I think this was the best tribal so far. It was very interesting to watch. And, you know, there have been like tribals this season where we get like Joe and Devon's fighting, or, you know, we get like a blindside on Savannah. But I think this time we actually get some really like interesting strategy, and we see every player's perspective, which is so nice. Like
the problem I think we've been having with the past 3 episodes that wasn't present here was that like we didn't really see the motivations behind the vote offs. Like it was kind of up in the air going into tribal, and we were surprised along with the person getting blindsided. But now it felt like every avenue and option was explored. We saw the pros and cons for each player, and then it made sense when we saw the boot.
I think we might as well let's start from the beginning with this, because there is a lot. The main thing, as we established from last episode, is that Ozzy wants Angelina out.
Yes.
And Emily, as a result, also wants Angelina out. So that's the starting basis. Everyone seems to be like, okay, we're going to vote out Angelina. Mike disagrees.
Mike pushes back on
that. He thinks that Angelina is easily his best number in the game. They're going to be friends no matter what, and she is going to be like an easy extra vote, basically.
And also an easy beat.
Exactly.
Which, I mean, Q was a very easy beat, but
he also both of them cause chaos, but I think Q's so much more effective in causing things to shift than Angelina.
And also Mike wasn't as close to Q, where he is close to Angelina, so he could maybe control that chaos. So it makes sense.
So Mike doesn't want Angelina out. So his new plan is to vote out Emily, which in theory, I think makes the most sense for him, but he went about it the wrong way. He started by going to Angelina and Christian because of the David versus Goliath 3. And Angelina obviously is on board. Christian, however, I don't think Mike realized how close Christian and Emily are. So it's difficult for him to decide between the two. Yeah. But Mike says something that like really sticks with Christian, which is that Christian is making the same mistake again of trusting like the nerdy girl, which on his last season was Gabby, who tried to vote him out. He had to idle to survive and idled her out. Yeah. I think Mike could tell that Christian was very hesitant, and so he's like, okay, I gotta go deep in my bag of tricks, and I've got to use some good manipulation tactics. I just think he didn't use it on the right person.
He didn't use it on the right person.
Yeah. Because the kind of like not blackmail, but like aggression where like you don't want to make that same mistake again. It's like I won't make that same mistake again if you aren't reminding me of it. So he'll just, as a result, Christian decides, let's just vote out Mike. And that's where the strategy gets really interesting, because now we have a supposed 3-2-1 vote. It's not even a majority vote. I love a 3-2-1. Sari, our icon.
Where was Sari's confessional? Like, if you're going to do a 3-2-1 vote, you should at least, like, she's the patent of that person. She copyrighted it, so you need to at least, by that rule, give her one confessional this episode.
The only game changer on Game Changers because of that 3-2-1.
Yeah, so Christian's like, okay, Stephanie, you, me, and Emily, let's vote Mike. Angelina and Mike are going to vote for Emily. And then Ozzy, left in the dark, is going to vote for Angelina. That's the supposed plurality setup that they have. Emily, though, Emily's a little shaky. What does she do?
Yeah. So he tells Emily, and Emily is mostly on board, because obviously she doesn't want to go home. She trusts Christian and believes that she is the vote right now. But what changes things is she doesn't want to blindside Ozzy. She wants to keep that relationship, and so she doesn't want to have it be a 3-2-1, but instead of 4-2. That's a bad idea, though. Like, obviously, we see later on Ozzy is not happy. But I think that's a better outcome, because there is a good chance that Ozzy blows the whole thing up, and we don't want it to be blown up a fourth time, which will lead into a fifth, and like it just keeps changing.
Domino effects and
so
ripples.
You want to act now and ask for forgiveness later, but Emily doesn't see it that way because she really wants her relationship with Ozzy to work.
Yeah, and so we actually have like a clip of the aftermath of Emily telling Ozzy. Christian is really upset with this, because mind you, she doesn't do this off to the side. She does this in front of Christian and Stephanie, and Christian is like pissed. He's giving her a death stare. It's kind of funny, like how loose-lipped she was.
Yeah, so let's get that clip up right now.
How's your restaurant going?
It's good. I'm like giving her a death stare. I'm like, you don't screw this up. I'm putting myself out there for you. She just does it. She just blurts. It's like the foot and mouth thing is a real thing for her.
I truly think that, like, Christian has to come out of the season as one of the most iconic players ever. Like, I think, obviously, in terms of the general public, you can never like really get a player now who is going to be bigger than like Colby, Boston Rob, Amber, just because they were there during its peak of the whole show. But there are players like, obviously Tony has cemented himself 100% as like a Mount Rushmore player, and I think even if Survivor 50 isn't like as viewed as it was back in the day, Christian is the standout of this season. And even if he doesn't win, he just has like such a character to him. I love watching Christian.
He's very like, I'm enamored with him. Like, whenever I see him on screen, like, his confessionals are top tier. The way he plays the game is very like methodical, and I love seeing him play. I mean, there's something to be said about, like, if you give somebody good confessionals, like, people, like, any contestant could be a really good personality, but it depends on the editing team letting them shine.
Right.
Tiffany and Camilla, like, I mean, I love them on their original seasons, and I bet they're delivering good confessionals. They probably are, but we're just not seeing them. Yeah. So, like, Christian, they're letting us see Christian, and what we see is amazing.
For sure. Tiffany is a big one, because 2 confessionals in 4 episodes is evil. Like, that's not fair at all. And I think Tiffany was such a like fun character on 46. She's getting completely purpled for no reason. But this is excluding like people who are just actually just duds. Yeah. There's a lot of people who won't give that content, but there's so many people on this season that do.
I think that's why they cast the people they did. They knew that the majority of these people, bar like a Joe, are gonna be giving us those good confessionals consistently. So it's sad to see some people getting sandbagged. Yeah,
we don't get... I think it's not... It feels like a pre-New Era season because the confessionals are not very evenly distributed. But the like, other side of that is just the fact that Christian has gone to every tribal. He is kind of the main character, and has been the central figurehead of every vote so far. So like he does deserve that all of that like screen time. It's just as a result everyone else is getting sidelined, unfortunately.
This is true. Christian Stapley, as I like to call him now, heading to every tribal council. Well, the vote ends up being Mike. Emily and Stephanie go along with the plan, and Ozzy is not part of the plan. And when he finds out, he's arguably more pissed than Mike is.
Yeah, more pissed than Charlie, more pissed than Liz.
Yeah.
No, that's not true. No one could be
Nobody
more pissed
can
than Liz.
exude that level of pissed. But no, he definitely did not take this kindly. He's mad at everyone who lied to him, and I don't think that's a good play. Like, you got to swallow that. Like, I know it sucks being on the wrong side of the vote, but if you don't want to be the target next round, if you go to tribal again, work with the people and say, okay, I understand, and plot in the background, in the shadows. Don't express your your anger with people, because remember, you weren't the vote out here. You've still got life in this game.
Right, and especially after the next time on preview for the episode, which we do have a clip for, it's gonna be a big episode next time, and I'm really hoping that it can like fulfill on those fulfill the duties that it needs to do, especially because we've only had one Boudin episode for 4 episodes. We need this to lock in. So let's pull up that clip.
It doesn't make any sense.
Ozzy is pissed. Everybody lied to him.
Next time on Survivor, both losing tribes will go to tribal.
Wow! I'm sure as hell gonna get Rizzo before he gets me.
This is Operation Bad Blood.
Yeah, so it's still... We get more and more Rizzo and Charlie. This beef is going to come to a head, but the big thing is the fact that there's going to be 2 tribals next episode. 2 tribes are going to lose the immunity challenge, and I think that's probably, like, thank God we need that. I don't know how they're going to get to the final 3 when they're on, like, what is it, day 12? And only 5 people are out.
Is it going to be a final 4?
My prediction is we do 2 boots next episode, which we know, and then they swap the next episode, and then they do every tribe goes to tribal.
Maybe one person gets individual immunity.
That's what
from
I'm
each
thinking.
Tribe.
It's like individual immunity, and every tribe goes to tribal.
That makes sense.
Because then that would lead into the merge in episode 7. And, you know, last season they did a 1-episode tribe swap, so I think they're willing to do it again.
Yeah, it's going to be hectic, but we're going to get there, guys. I mean, maybe there's going to be another medevac. We've been seeing some of these older players getting banged up left and right. Colby getting a concussion last episode. Ozzy is not what he used to be. He looked like he was, like, out of breath after pushing that boat. Like, maybe somebody gets medevaced again. That could also add to it.
True.
But, like, they weren't factoring those in.
Yeah, they would have to plan for not... the medevacs. So I think I have to wonder what they would have done with Kyle, like if Kyle didn't get medevaced.
Right. I wondered they maybe had like contingencies, like if somebody gets medevaced at this point, we do this.
I know. For sure they were gonna do starting now 2 people get voted out because second place didn't get the reward. So that second place probably would have gone to tribal if Kyle didn't get eliminated.
Yeah. Like, and I remember the first season of the New Era, 41, the first tribal was a double tribal, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
It was 2 tribes
because it was
tribal.
Abraham
and like I think her name was like Sarah Wilson or something. Like
that.
So there's precedent for this like kind of premier double boot. It's gonna be interesting seeing how it plays out. So okay, should we go to our draft quick to see who's left? Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go to mine because I lost
yours.
somebody. Draft number 1. I'm happy with this. Frankly, I did lose somebody, but look at this. All 3 bottom picks, my last picks, are eliminated. None of my top 9. I think that's like successful.
I feel like I kind of agreed. Like we knew those 3 were not gonna do well, but they were like, it's really impressive you were able to go like 3 for 3 on the bottom row.
Yes, like, and it was not like due to them not playing well. I feel like Savannah was doing okay. Mike was doing okay until he like did that, like he was doing too much with Christian, and Kyle got out through no fault of his own. Like all 3 were like big
surprises, standouts. Like, I didn't expect them to do well at all, but they actually really, all three of them had great footholds. They just got unlucky. Like, Kyle medevaced, Mike, that is his own fault, but he was doing really well up until this point.
And it was a bad tribe draw. Like, I mean, it was good in a sense because David versus Goliath, but strength-wise, he didn't really have the strongest tribe.
And Savannah, I still don't know why they chose her, really, but, like, it happened.
Yeah, let's go to your draft.
Yeah.
And, you've got...
Yay!
You've got, basically, I think, the star of the season as your number one pick, so you should be happy about that.
I do have Christian, my number one pick. I also have Sari. I'm so happy with those two. I'm ahead. I have one less person eliminated than you.
Okay, well, Chrissy's going home next. I'm calling it now.
No!
Chrissy's going home next, and then it's gonna be Joe. And well, no, I actually don't think that's happening.
I think if is it Kahlo that
I believe Tealist Kahlo, yeah.
Yeah, Kahlo. I think if they go to the tribal during the double boot, I don't think either of them are going.
Nobody honest or integrity is going.
Right. It's either gonna be. It's probably gonna be Aubrey idling out one of her previous allies, or not. Sorry, previous tribe mates, not allies. So like I think we're gonna see like her get out Genevieve finally.
Yeah.
Or maybe if she doesn't want to go for Genevieve, she goes for Colby.
That makes sense. If she thinks like, oh, maybe Genevieve has something, I'll take the shot later, go for Colby. They won't anticipate that.
But there's no way she doesn't play that idol.
Oh, she's got to.
She's searching everywhere to find another one because she's going to play this no matter what. She only has Tiffany on this tribe.
Yeah. So I think you've got the better draft than me for now, but I feel like it's pretty close. I'm pretty close behind you.
Yeah. So really quick, the other two tribes, if they go to tribal, who do you think is going to go on either of them?
So, okay, we've got Pink Vatu we can ignore. So Sela, I'm saying it's got to be between Charlie and Suri as of now.
Yeah, I think it feels like Charlie's edit isn't to get out Rizzo, but to get out because he's trying to get out Rizzo. Because we haven't seen him talking to anyone about getting out Rizzo. We haven't seen anyone else's perspective about Rizzo. It's just that anger fueling against him. And I think that just means it's going to blow up in his face.
Yeah, and I mean, like, we haven't been seeing much of Rick this episode, so I don't think he goes home because I feel like they would, plant some seeds about that.
Because it's Rick. They love his baby.
Content. Yeah. And then if it were, Teal Tribe, yeah, I'm getting big Genevieve vibes, unfortunately, because Aubrey's not going home. She would be dumb. Didn't she go out with an idol last season she was on?
Yeah, I think
so. On Edge? Yeah.
And, like, if Genevieve goes, one of the most screwed over players in the history of Survivor. And it's not even like, it's not big screwed over players. Like, there are some that got screwed over by one big thing. But Genevieve just keeps getting punched and punched and punched.
A bunch of compounded little things. Kind of like, it's reminding me of Justin from season 48.
Yes.
Like, everything had to go wrong for him, and it did. Kind of like, whatever, like Murphy's Law or whatever, right. Milo's Law. I'm thinking of the Disney show.
Murphy's Law.
Murphy's Law.
Whatever can go wrong will go wrong.
Right. And so I kind of feel bad for her. But, we'll see. Maybe they just don't go to tribal. And maybe she makes the merge.
And lastly, if Vatu goes back to tribal, which I think is likely, who do you think is going to go?
Oh my gosh. I think it's going to be Angelina.
Yeah, I think they're going to get out Angelina. Maybe Ozzy plays an idol, but I don't think they want to work against Ozzy. They were just worried about him.
Yeah. And even if they do turn on Ozzy, he's got the idol, and I feel like his target's Angelina, even though he's big bitter against, like, the people for, doing that 3-2-1. I don't see them going for Stephanie. And I just, I think this is maybe Christian voting out Angelina is what caused that beef that we keep bringing up, like, post-game beef. That could be it.
Yeah. That will be very interesting to watch. I'm so, like, whatever tribes go to tribal, regardless, it's going to be a very interesting both tribals are going to be so fun to watch.
Yeah. I just wish the episode could come tomorrow.
Literally.
But, yeah.
Oh, my God.
Speaking of wish, let's see your tweet of the week.
Yes. So, I thought this was so funny, and I kind of, even though I knew it was going to be Zac Brown, I kind of thought the same thing. It says, I genuinely think Aubrey thought it was a Make-A-Wish kid before Jeff said it was Zac Brown. Oh my.
Like, kind of bad, but also like,
It's
yeah,
so
why would
funny
you be
'cause,
crying?
Like he didn't say a single thing about who it was. He just said one fan had another idea and we flew them out to Fiji. That sounds
that's
like
very much Make-A-Wish. Like, that's
I felt really
very-
bad, but she started crying and she was like, "Oh my god,
Oh my
that's
God,
so
it's-
cute."
It's Zachary. It's Zachary.
Zachary.
Oh, well, yeah, I'd be disappointed too. But
I thought that was a really good tweet, but you have one as well, I believe.
okay, this is not even like hilarious so much as just like, wow, like what are the odds? So it says, which is the better 3-2-1 vote on June 14th, 2025 in Fiji? So apparently the dates lined up that Survivor 50 and Love Island US, I believe this was season 7, the most recent season, were airing at the same time, both in Fiji, and I guess at the same time as Christian's little 3-2-1 move, Amaya Papaya from Love Island 7, the winner of Love Island 7. If this means anything, maybe Christian's gonna win. Amaya concocted and orchestrated a 3-2-1 vote with her girls, Shelly and Sierra. I didn't watch
You
the
have
season.
them
You
searched
can
up right
I
now.
have them searched up right now to vote out Charlie. And there was 3 votes on Charlie, 2 votes on Huda, and 1 vote on Taylor. So wow, this was a really intricate plan for Love Island. I didn't know they got down like that.
I didn't even know they voted on Love Island. So like this is, I mean, I heard people talk about the 3-2-1 vote last year. It's so funny they haven't at the same time because we haven't had a 3-2-1 Survivor vote in forever, and Love Island suddenly getting like such a strategy to the game at the same time that they pull off like such a big move on Survivor 50. Hilarious.
This is a sign they should do a crossover.
well,
I mean, well, with Rob R winning the Traders, anything can happen now.
I guess so, and Maura getting second. Like
Yeah.
you could argue. I think it would be fun to have more people that don't know Survivor. I think it results, as long as you get a good character, I think it results in something really fun. Like David on 48 was like the most like positive antagonist because like some of them sucked. Like Joe wasn't fun to watch because he was also like just so kind of boring, but David was like evil
Yeah,
and
he
funny.
was like mustache twirling kind of game player, and I love that.
He was pure evil in like we haven't seen this kind of villain probably since like
The 20s.
yeah,
kinda.
like we'll see a lot of villains. Like there's Venus, Shan,
Yeah.
Maria. There's a lot of villains, but like he is stereotypical villain, and that's
Like,
why he's so funny.
You were really rooting for his downfall. But no, yeah, maybe they do an all Love Island Survivor season and they'll name it Beauty versus Beauty versus Beauty. And yeah, that's all the time we have for today's episode. It was so fun discussing not the best episode of Survivor, but it had some fun moments, and we hope to see you next week listening. And yeah, do you have any last words, Andrew?
Thank you all for watching. Go onto our Instagram and vote for your favorite tweet of the week. Yay!
Yay! It better be mine. Yeah, that's all we have for today. It was fun, and we'll see you next week.
Bye. Where are we looking?
Doodles. Doodle. Doodle.